The Miami Heat have given Jimmy Butler permission to seek a trade, and at 35 years old, the next team that he goes to will probably be his last. After losing 2 NBA Finals within the past few years, he has only one more opportunity to go to a team that can actually give him an NBA championship. And while there are a few teams that actually make sense for him to go to, the one that sticks out most of all is the Golden State Warriors, because they're on a very similar time plan to what Jimmy Butler also is on. And as Jimmy Butler is 35, Steph Curry is 36, turning 37 later on this season. And while both teams, the Miami Heat and Golden State Warriors, sit 5th in their respective conferences, I think Golden State is much more inclined to make a deep playoff run. And while they started off this season really hot, they've been 3-7 in their last 10 games, mainly because they haven't had that secondary scorer to go alongside Steph Curry. And Steph is averaging 23 points a game on a really good shooting splits of 45% from the field and 41.7% from 3. And with Jimmy, he's averaging a good stat line and could provide a wing player to have secondary scoring and wing defense, which Golden State needs badly. And if you look at the makeup of this Golden State team, they actually have a pretty solid team. They have Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and Buddy Hield, who can all defend and score the basketball. And Andrew Wiggins has proven to be a really good third option, or even like a 2B guy. And Jonathan Kuminga at power forward is really solid. And obviously Draymond Green has started 20 of the 21 games he's played this season and is still a really good player despite not being a really big scoring threat. And all this team really needs to be a really massive contender is a secondary scorer alongside Steph Curry. And that's the one thing they haven't had since that 2022 run. Andrew Wiggins during that run was that guy, but at this point in his career, he has become more of a third option. But if you were to bring in Jimmy Butler, he's averaging 19 points a game on 55% shooting and 36% from 3, and gives the Warriors a guy who's a really good wing defender and a really good spot-up shooter from the mid-range. And if Steph Curry is having an off game, or if Andrew Wiggins is having an off game as a second option, Jimmy Butler is a guy who can step up. And at this point in his career, he may not be the best player to be a number one option on a team like he is in Miami. And I think that Miami at the 5th seed is exceeding expectations, and that's about as high as their potential is going to get. But if Jimmy Butler goes to Golden State, who's in 5th place in the West right now, I think they could finish as a top 4 seed and actually make a run at an NBA championship, because Jimmy Butler also provides a lot of experience. And if you have a starting lineup that includes Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, who have all had playoff experience, even though Jimmy Butler hasn't won an NBA championship, he's still made deep playoff runs and knows what it's like to get to the point of the NBA Finals. And when you have 3 guys like that alongside Andrew Wiggins, who's also won an NBA title, and then other guys like Jonathan Kuminga who can score off the bench, this team could actually be really good. And this also allows Andrew Wiggins and Buddy Hield to both come off the bench full-time as wings, and it really does bolster Golden State's second unit. And when this team has a really good bench, they are very scary, because if Steph Curry and the starters have to do all the work all the time, Steph Curry's too old for that. But if you have a guy like Andrew Wiggins or Jonathan Kuminga off the bench who can come in and give you buckets, it takes a lot of pressure off Steph Curry, and he won't have to do as much on the court anymore. And if Golden State wants to make a deep playoff run, they can't have Steph out there playing 40 minutes a game at 36 years old. And Jimmy Butler gives his team a lot more flexibility and options and defending. So I think this is the best trade that Golden State could make, and the best place for Jimmy Butler to go if he wants to win a championship. Let me know if you think Golden State should make this trade in the comment section below. And God bless you all. Have an amazing day, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. God bless.